Muira.
Nawaikoke.
Mama wange Mwisa Igaga avuye Busiki.
Awe tufanaganya.
Buongo.
Zena ndi wa Mwisa Igaga tufanaganya nfe bakalunteba.
Ayenga butya atya ime mayuge.
Okay.
Baba wange ali awo Busoga University awo alikola awo ali kumpi kuwumula.
Baba wakakola? That's great. Akola ki? Yena yasoma byanfuna ngayo.
Sort of. Yakola ku cooperatives. Kyabaire nga Basa Busoga University.
Okay. Yeah. Basa Busoga University. Kitegeri bulungi. Osomye otya? Otandika otya okusoma osomera wa?
Nasomera ku mu Uganda okusoma kwendeta general education. Jetweta primary school, secondary tulina O level ni A level. So najja Mwiri primary school.
Mwiri primary.
Nasomera yo emyaka ja primary egisooka. Namalira Namalemba boarding primary school. Jena malira P7. Bwenaveyo najja Mwiri ku Kasozi.
Busoga college.
Nakolayo O level.
Baba sente dali okuba Mwiri ebiseera ebyo.
Yeah, ebiseera byali nga olina okuba ne sente okutwala omwana Mwiri. Navaawo najja bajeta Makerere High School. Right now bajeta Migadde. Eyo gye namalira Kulwebombo. Gye namalira A level. Nakola history, economics ne divinity. Immediately after najja mu America natandika degree program. Nasoma bachelor's degree mu finance and economics. Nasoma master's degree bajeta MBA ndowooza. Ayina specializing mu international business and economics. Olwavaawo neyongerayo ni masters edindi ibiri ejo beta masters of science in international political economy. Namana akola masters in political science, specializing in institutional policy. Navaawo nakola PhD mu business administration. Na business administration na focusing ku public policy and economic development. So far awo wendi okusoma tikuwayo
sangero okubola. That's good. Professor Mike Kaluya. So mutoli kukolawa osomesaawa?
Mu America ndi kusomesa mu masomero gawera kungasa twaye full time position yange nsomesa as a professor, full professor of economics in college bajeta Tarrant County College. There nava head of department, I think one of it, and was a dean, associate dean. Kuba wali managing programs over courses eduwera ku 10 over ku level ya associate dean. So that is what an associate dean is mu category ya ife, over head of department. Mu business muli mu programs eduwera ku 8 de managing. Navaawo nasomesa isomero ndi bayita Dallas College. Nsomesa economics. Yeah. Nsomesa economics, political science, ni business management. Then wabayo university ndi bajeta Texas Christian University. Eyo nasomesa yo na part time, nsomesa economics basically.
Eyo yona bisoboka okubanga okuva ku ekyewano waje wanoza nti yabeevu bangi bona bakala kinga abaavu nti benda mulala iwovega nojega love wano lidala soli.
Abasomesa ba economics bali rare mu southern states because it's not the center of economic policy. Tubaga naino around the Washington area, Washington DC, nga bali mu university diri around there
bali awo
bali eyo
seno yoli
batonoku era ojja okwesanga
abantu bava wano bajja mu America eyo ajja okumala ewiiki 2 okwira nga olusoga agema bugeme lwabitegetege. How have you managed to maintain olusoga lwo?
Nze ndi musoga okujja mu America, mbali mu America more than 20 years.
Ayo kayogera olusoga olulungi. Anyway, mudafeta kwa paseyo. Darakse biche kugamba.
I don't know TD kyakukoba but
kiche kibakyusanga ke batuseyo.
TD kibakyusa. Aye nga tikyetagisa kukyuka. You have to maintain your heritage. You have to force yourself to maintain it. Nze namala emyaka 10 nga tiranga ku Uganda. Aye nga olusoga nkalki? Nkalwogera bulungi. Nibuti.
And you love it?
Very much.
Kale, wasoma byanfuna. You are the right person now muwire bwaife. Mwana wetu otwaganire government ya Uganda ilimu kutambuza enkola bajeta parish development model. A model that is designed to help to create development starting from a parish. A parish in Uganda is a collection of 3, 4, 5 to 10 villages. They come together, identify a common enterprise, run it together, manage it together, get together and pay together. Have you heard of that?
Njuwulire ku mawulire na gisoma ku aye eriyo kyene ndo okwebuuza ku oidi wavire ebintu ebyenkula bityo eriyo binawulira ku babyeta entandikwa
yes bibayirewo
onnabagaggawale
Operation Welfare Creation emyoga Youth Livelihood Project tubalina bingi.
I think from an academic perspective mwida kunsoni wakubanze I'm not on the ground to operate some of these programs. Aye ndikwenda kwebuuza nti bino program ezedinde data andikibwa. What did we learn from them? What impact did they make on the common person? Tulinawo a system mu economics ojeta monitoring and evaluation.
Okulondwa n'okupima byetwakola
byetutayire mu bikole. How did we succeed? How did we fail? Wegamba bwetwanga tujja kumuvinga ku ekintu ekindi tulina okufuna lesson from what we have already done before. Kitutwala twatandika twakola nti eno now PDM enaba successful oba we are going to repeat the same failures of the other ones. Kuba titwakola assessment maybe, I don't know. Did we do the assessment? How did the other programs perform? Bantu bameka betwatola mu bwavu. Oba mirumu emeka gye twacreatinga mu dino programs ze twataawo. What is our objective ku PDM eno eja creating a mirumu emeka? Because the most important thing is to make sure that omuntu omuna Uganda has is positions to make wealth. Wealth tutukoba nti omuntu aida asula milioni ndala ajikuwe otandikira okwo. Aye wealth is created over time. Katuli kumwa starting point. Aye tulimwa starting point na center imeka of creating a wealth. Atandiko okutonda obugayiga bwe. Era mechanisms je tutayire in place to make sure that this thing is going to be sustained. Nti emyaka n'emyaka abantu baidaka nti PDM bwe yaida, this is what I benefited na creating a company na employing abantu 10, abantu bona bajaba bakola ki
bona beyongera emirimu bagayigawaza abandi,
because in reality it is to do with what we call multiplier effect.
kino kyetukoze
kizaire biriwa tutayiremu tukobye nti mwide mwesoloze mube bantu 10 tubawe millions diti mujje mudikozese. But we are interested in knowing the creation over time edasente detailemu. Bwenabuuzizaako bankoba nti PDM eno it is I don't know whether it's a presidential initiative or it is a national initiative. Kuba, there are two different things.
Presidential, it is a presidential initiative that was later adopted by government, but initially it was a presidential initiative.
Okay.
Yeah, because Mr. Museveni has had quite a number of these initiatives, like you said. The biggest lesson that they drew from the first programs was that the money, the funds meant for the common man to implement whatever they wanted to implement, that is the mutuukaku. They said now we shall make a new policy of direct transfer of funds from Kampala, the beneficiary parish. Before then it was money from Kampala to districts through chief administrative officers, and then the beneficiaries would apply to the cows to have this money released to them, then the money goes to the accounts and that kind of thing. So you realize that in between there, edivide nonga 10 kijja okutuuka ku the last person nga tisigaira 2 olundi n'obutatuukira irala. So he said now the biggest that the parish development model rotates around is that the people intending to use the money get it directly from means of finance to their accounts.
Mperano, this is the government money.
It is government money.
Regulated by parliament.
Yachingira mu bwingire.
Yachingira mu bwingire.
Yachingira because now Parliament has now passed a budget 52 trillion, 52.7 trillion, and included 1.5 trillion
for PDM.
It is now a parliamentary thing.
But as Parliament put laws in place of how PDM is going to operate.
The management procedures, yes, they are trying to.
Kuba, sente is not free money.
It isn't.
Or paying back.
True that.
Pera about failing.
Bakusiba.
What using which law?
I think it has been provided. The anti-corruption law, the somebody where I say causing financial loss, which there's some.
Ndibuuza kati nga iwe mwami muyanja ofunye milioni ndala ojire wagezaaku kansimbe duma yafa ayi ng'olina okusasula milioni eyo back bw'ofeiringa ozira collateral gy'oba waire
mbuba nsiba
bakusiba. Is the law there to do that?
From your experience as a professor of economics and being an African where corruption is endemic, how can we deal with the evil called corruption? And does it also exist where you are?
Your topic, Jolie, is my area of specialization. That's why I'm called a doctor. I have a PhD. Okay. Naida mu Uganda wano nakolagana ni IGG's office. Nafuna bali bajeta corruption something ibanga collecting data baja mu byalo eyo babuza abantu mwogera ku corruption perception. Okay? I can use this data na turning around in abakobera how you need to deal with the corruption in Uganda. So na wandika dissertation, ngeri titled Perceptions of Corruption Okay.
Perceptions.
Yes.
Of corruption.
Yes. A quantitative study of public servants and citizens. Chenajja okubona okuanalyzinga data yaibweyo nabona nti there is what we call collaboration or collaborative corruption.
Collaborative corruption. Collaboration.
There is collaboration to commit corruption.
What do you mean by that? Let me understand that web of.
There is citizen and a public official. There is a way they collaborate. They may collaborate because this person ayenda kufuna service. Olichobona. Ayina pressure to receive service. So as a chakola, apart from doing what? To offer a bribe.
Influencing this one more.
Influencing this one to give the service. But this one has created pressure. Until without doing this, I can't provide the service. So that collaboration, it is not a willing collaboration, it is a forced collaboration.
Circumstantially forced.
Yes. Olichibona. Yaba a collaboration yindi where both of you are willing to participate. Olichibona. Ndini motoka ya government iwoli kuzimba. Jontolewa la matafali gango ntele ku site. Motoka ya government inakola mulimu ogwo. Mbe. That is willingly. Ate toja kuloba kuba oli muganda wange atokola mu government.
Tisobola kabiri kudaga kupangisa
ngaiwoli leta muchika. Olinde motoka jwa leta muchika. Ate tukubona ngachi a blessing to us as a family oba as a chika oba as abasoga. Kati wotachikola oba toli mwana we tutandika kubona in a different way because you failed to collaborate.
Mayambani. Motoka debeda kutukwa bwangu.
Mpera ano nabawa some recommendations. Era bw'ojja mu IGG's office oyinza okwagana yo ekitabo ekyo nakiwandiika. Kiriyo. Bw'ojja mu parliament yaife wano.
Bona wabawo.
Bona nabawo ekitabo ekyo. Nabawa some recommendations. Perceptions of corruption
in Uganda.
In Uganda.
By Dr. Michael Kaluuya.
Bankobera nti waliyo eyali mu office omu yankoba nti tusomye ekitabo kyo and we are implementing some of the recommendations.
Yakoba. You believed him?
I sort of believed him.
Do you see anything of what you recommended being done?
I see some bit being done. Okay. National ID yeyo.
Not you?
What is it doing right now in terms of service?
The national, it has actually become the point of the most trusted point of reference for accessing any government service. So you can actually not escape.
You cannot escape.
You understand? If you take to the bank, and now I have heard that they are improving it to include also your financial information, that at anywhere you go, technology can detect that this man coming to rent from this way.
This man, who is identified as this, has come to receive this. This man or this woman on the other side, who is a public service, has attended to this person. For accountability purposes, in future, Dr. Grant, Simon, neya teninga tu Michael.
You've been served by this person.
Just nachagana kwa airport okusoka. Until you've been served by this person.
The name of the person, it is there.
Exactly. Yeah. So that is one of.
If you had a complaint, please let tell where it is coming from because that's
exactly. So that was one of the recommendations.
That was a nice one.
But it would be nice to know.
Can we end corruption in Uganda?
You can. Corruption is not something that you can end easily, but you can reduce by doing some of the things that I said.
So the efforts are at reducing, not ending.
Because these other countries have tried to do that, but accountability measures whereby for you to be able to access a service, you must be the qualified person to receive that service. Do they have corruption in Geneva? Yeah, Bamulina. But it's white collar. It's not noticeable.
White collar corruption.
Wano, it is very evident. It's an
interesting discussion. We can have a very short break and return to look at the others.
Eno ni Gangamka ku Baba TV. Eno ni Baba TV obusoga bulaire.
Olususu lw'omwana wange lwetaaga endabirira eyeesigika. Kyenva mmonaaza kyogero vitamin E soap ate ne mmusiiga kyogero vitamin E pink jelly okusobola okukuuma olususu lwe nga lulamu. Omwana wange n'anyirira ne yeeyagala n'abeera musanyufu buli kaseera. Ate ne famire yange nayo tukozesa kyogero products. Y'ensonga lwaki tunyirira. Abazadde tukozesa kyogero products omuli cocoa butter jelly and soap, aloe vera jelly and soap ne non-perfumed jelly. Clean your skin ng'okozesa kyogero products. Asangibwa mu maduuka ne supermarkets okwetooloola eggwanga lyonna.
Buli kumacha nzukukane sanyu
Cross farm never kanga mumaja.
Lunakuluke bilata bipye Cross farm achuseza bolamu
Mama never kumuza mulungi wangazi wakolebwa n'obukugu obukyasinze.
Tukwaniriza mu family yaffe y'emifaliso gya Rose Form. Muno mwe muli buli kika ky'omufaliso kyonna kye wali owulidde. Rose Form, ensi y'ebirooto ebirungi. Bw'oyogera nnyaffe Uganda ku Radio Africa, tolemwa kumwenya olw'akamwenyumwenyu akajjudde abanywanyi. Embeera y'obudde yatukolako mukwano n'obutonde obutubeezaawo ne butusobozesa buli omu okubeerawo mu ngeri ye, kuba ffenna tuli banjawulo ne mu ngeri gye tukwasaganyamu emirimu gyaffe. Naye ekitugatta ne tufuuka omuntu omu bwe bwomi obuva mu kyokunywa ekya Hallelujah Jingatte drink ne Hallelujah Tamarind drink, eddekende erikumala ennyonta ate nga wejjanjaba omubiri gwo. Ekyokunywa kino kye kitegeera emibiri gyaffe kuba kya butonde 100 ku 100. Woomerwa ekyokunywa kirimu omubisi gw'enkooge. Hallelujah Tamarind drink ne Hallelujah Jingatte drink bikolebwa ba Hallelujah Reflexology Healthy Solution and Nutritional Research Center Limited. Weefunira ekyokunywa kya Hallelujah leero okuva ku maduuka wonna. Bakubire ku noti 393 24 15 6
Get yourself a Zuku TV decoder and satellite dish today at a low price of only 105,000 Ugandan shillings, and a Zuku decoder at only 60,000 Ugandan shillings, and enjoy your favorite movies, series, kids entertainment, music, local and international news, and lots more. Enjoy amazing packages like Zuku Smart, Zuku Smart Plus, Zuku Classic, Zuku Premium, and Zuku Asia. Get connected today. Zuku, life got better.
MTN! Tusako mwana mulezi omuyaga bwati King of the East Saka Free Boss nanyini mavoko ama height gabaya tulerinya nayimbira omutanda
Mwito Palaso
Muchivulu Love Festa okurugogo Cricket Oval kulokutano mwenda June shilingi emitwalo 2 VIP emitwalo 5 emeza ya milioni 3 Saturday nga 10 Mbarara Ajip Motel omutwalo gumu VIP emitwalo 2 Sunday nga 10 Fort Portal mu Kisaawe shilingi omutwalo gumu VIP emitwalo 2 Friday 16 June Erwero mu Kisaawe Saturday nga 17 Jinja mu Trans Gardens Sunday nga 18 Mubenda mu Kisaawe wonna shilingi omutwalo gumu Palaso nga konkonye ndonge yuwano mama mujje muwagire mujja ne bibebi binnalonda nze namala ebisajja bye mala munkungere bitegekeddwa Sabavolobalamu n'ebiwagirwa Pepsi Cola
Hotel.
Radio 4
Everywhere you go, MTN.
Enoni Baba TV obusoga bulayire. Eno ni gangamka ku Baba TV.
Alright, you're right in Baba TV. For this special segment, I have Professor Mike Kaluuya, Professor of Economics from the United States of America, but also a very good Msoga and passionate economist. Professor, I want to understand, so you say that this in fighting, reducing corruption in Uganda, which most form did you find most prevalent? Which form of corruption? You know here corruption, which we call involves misappropriation, bribery, and so many more. Which of those did you find most prevalent when you did your PhD here?
So I looked at the forms of corruption independent of each other.
The forms,
Embezzlement, bribery, and so on and so forth.
Misappropriation.
Misappropriation of public funds. But remember, I was looking for the element of collaboration. How are people using these forms to collaborate to engage in corruption? Ajokwesanga embezzlement.
Kwiba.
Ranking high.
Kwiba pia the government.
Okwiba okwo, it is because government officials have a lot of pressure from whoever they support. It could be family, it could be a constituency, it could be political supporters who need to be satisfied. So what do? You find all means to make sure that you throw back some things to them.
Whether rightly or otherwise.
Yes.
Okay.
Kuba, that is a form of collaboration there. So my recommendation on that was to we need to make public service less desirable for people.
Successful economies do so.
Yes, that's what successful economies do. You make it less desirable to people to work in there. So what is the solution to make it less desirable? Create a strong foundation for private sector investments.
So that it is more lucrative to be in the private sector here and do my own business than work for government.
Than work for the government. Working for the government is a service. So we need to create more servant leaders who actually have the capacity to work for the government. And other people, bajewa, are creating businesses in the private. So, oyina kutekinga gundi, oyina kutawo foundation oba enabling environment
for the private sector
to thrive. How do you do that? We look into the tax regimes, we look into credit facilities, we look into educational institutions that are creating skill sets that are necessary to create a thriving private sector. Do we have a curriculum that actually is making business creators as opposed to workers? So, those are some of the recommendations.
Those are good ones. Let's look at, you did talk about credit. How do developed countries like in the US deal with credit, especially access and cost? Because when I look at these things, in Uganda, the problems we have are always that way. First, you have a problem of access, and then you go to cost. If it is electricity, Uganda now has more than enough electricity, but the cost. So anybody can access it, but the cost of accessing it is high. So I look at credit in the same way, access and the cost. Let's look at access first.
But no, before we look at access, we need to look at how credit is generated. Credit is generated through water center bank. You're actually creating a platform for credit access. So let's sample banks that we now know. How many depositors do you have, for example? At a bank in Zokoantia, for us we have under 1 million or 2 million or something like that. Now, is that enough depositors? Are they even active depositors?
Or simply a person is opening accounts because at one level it was a requirement.
It was a requirement. So it was a requirement. So what is the cost of banking also to encourage people to actually bank or open an account with a bank so that we create sufficient credit to support the private sector? So ojokwesanga nti loans are cheaper. They are more expensive because first and foremost we have fewer depositors in the banking institution, and we have more people applying to get loans but they can't get them. Secondly, access is limited to trust. Ndikuwa sente dino, how do I recover this money?
Kataka kange.
Akatako kalina atazira kataka akola atazira motoka, because not every Ugandan has a car, not every Ugandan has land.
Salary.
Not every Ugandan is employed in a sufficient employment to have to be a salary earner.
Cheba kolena kunoba idabalinga kutiri munomba yonika nabayi kubebifanane. In the event that you don't have any of those, then you cannot.
You can't have access.
You cannot. Cannot have access to credit.
So, credit is created by depositors who put their money in the bank. Okay. The number of depositors, if it's limited, we are going to have less credit. And if we have less credit, the cost for credit is going to be higher. Okay. Where you get the rule of 70. It is this is 70 divided by the interest rate. The cost of getting this loan has even doubled than by the amount of the loan. Bakwere milioni musanvu jakwesa usasule milioni 14 back.
14 tuli kusasula osasula 14 abiri na ndala. Even 28.
Yeah.
4 times bigger than what you do.
Yeah.
And that's how we have become poorer than we anticipated to be.
Because so amabanda gabanga gafuuse expensive ate nabaga accessinga but bona baba batya wentaya akamotoka kange ni fading kayinza obutayira wentaya akataka kange nintasosula sente nga bakola ki
ngakajja.
But also, how are we regulating abantu abaliga loans, and what levels do we have? Because I've only mentioned about banks. There are some credit facilities and other credit taking institutions, nga microfinance and so on and so forth. You know, abandi tubakola ki baza deposit ba receiving, they are using basically capital, operational capital, to give you money. So they need that money back in order to give somebody else. So the pressure is very high okuwa abantu loans.
What will be we are now accessing credit in Uganda at between 15 and 36% per annum. What is the rate in the America? What is it in the US?
With inflation right now, the average interest rate for a mortgage loan is ranging around 6 to 7%.
Only 6 to 7%.
Pera neriyo, these are the consumer loans. Ni kwenda gula motoka, ndi kwenda gula chi. Those are around, you can get, there are so many criteria that we use umuntu okumwa credit. First of all, your level of trustworthiness. We call that credit history. Nti balaba kuwola omwaka gule wabasasula on time. If you do not pay them on time, then you lose points in your credit report. So nomuntu omungi alijo kuwola abesinga kuchi credit report jafunye from the credit bureaus. We have about 3 credit bureaus: Transamerica, TransUnion, things like that. Now our report balwaninga your credit account Muyango no aliko 650, and why? Because he has these many accounts. He was late to pay his loan here several times, so that was reducing your points. So we don't have a lot of confidence in giving him another loan, but if we are to give him interest rate jakubawa waiguru,
because it's a risk.
Because it's a risk.
What is the role of government in ensuring access to cheaper credit?
Mpelano, we have what we call small business administration. So what does government do? Government channels grants through the small business administration centers around the country. You over tandika business, there are criteria you need to meet to be able to access these loans, as opposed to the bank loan, because bank loans sometimes are very harder to get for businesses. You know, just want to work tandika business today and you need a bank loan. No. You know, watandika kuko at least there is a level of success. You are just wanting a loan to expand.
The success story.
One of Uganda, I don't know whether that is existing.
No, if you want to funa credit, kwetu ola muchi nati kugaze kuvira ila muchi ngoba irojiri ila koti mfuna ya number ku get to there. And actually, our country, people are stressed. You need to see the level of happiness in Uganda is reduced because people are stressed over loans, credit, and so the purpose for which they get credit is achieved by a very small percentage of people. For those who got credit to get credit to build businesses, majority of them lose the businesses in the long run.
But is there a government initiative to channel some of this credit through a government centralized system? Nkobe the United States Small Business Administration, where the federal dollars in form of grants come down. Some of these could be loans, some of these could be grants. Grants could be paid back, or could be, if this is an area which we think promotes economic growth, or is for the good of the economy, we'll give you that grant and you develop that. And you have to show us how successful this is going to be, how many jobs you are going to create in the long run, between 2 years, 5 years, and so on and so forth. Or you know, kuba need documentation, walaga. Era over time, they check in with you
on your progress.
On your progress. Kwa watu kuba ntolijja this and this. So we are checking in to one of what you call.
Thank you, Professor Michael Kaluya. Nigwendi naye nga tulikubita mu bintu ebyenda twogere ku okwewola, okusasula n'okufuna bewewolaku. Let us look at the issue of poverty. Busoga bwetu bakuzaala busoga. Obwavu buli ewa busoga buwunira irala. Bantu bali kusula ndala, kusoma kuli kulema, bali kufumbirwa ke bakaali, bali kufumba buli kufa, bali kulumuka maka gaibwe, obwavu. How can government handle poverty in Busoga, or what can we, the Basoga, do okwetula mu mbeera eno nga imwe abasoma obulungi ebyenfuna muli kubikolera America muli kuyamba ensi eddakulira to go forward ng'era imwe timuli kuyambayo
tuli kuyamba mpolapola buli muntu has a role to play kyova obona nti tulina leadership positions at every level, especially in this country. Katukobe omulanga gwendi kwenda okubira ba leaders ab'e Busoga is that if you've made a leader, you a servant leader, to help those you are leading.
Kuba muweereza waibwe.
Kuba muweereza waibwe. Not a burden to them, but be somebody who reaches out wabayamba mu bizibu byaibwe. You are there to solve problems. Now if we identify that the problem is poverty, iwe nga leader, what prescription do you have to get people out of poverty? Busoga is endowed with a lot of resources. And I believe Idinda, Idinda is a city right now. And sometimes I visit the waters when I'm here. But I can't. This is a very good destination for tourism. And you can create a lot of jobs in tourism. But what have the leaders done to position this area as a tourism destination? What attractiveness do we put in place? Oba, what collaborations have the leaders made with the people with the resources to come and develop the area? To benefit their own what? People. By investors, by making it Busoga. Not necessarily from abroad, but we even have investors here in Uganda within who can actually come and invest. We have so many attractions there. We are surrounded by the lake. What is the lake for? We have fertile lands. What's tulikulima? So it is a matter of identifying resources that can take us out of poverty.
In your life as a professor, have you attempted to practically do any of this to help Busoga? Have you attempted either meeting these leaders or helping talking to them or talking to government or practically for Busoga now?
I have made attempts to maybe to create a forum of Busoga leaders to come together and we look at these issues that we can think can benefit our people. Have I succeeded? Not yet. Have I given up? No. I'm still reaching out to people. I'm still reaching out to people. We can move forward. I've reached out to the former Right Honorable Speaker, Kadaga. I've reached out to several MPs. And I've reached out to some LC5s as well. I will not give up. We need to have...
What has been the response from them? Do they understand you in the first place?
They can understand you in the moment. They can understand you in the moment. Woja! They mute.
I understand.
Yeah.
The problem has been that when you come and say, I'm a professor from America, I'm here, and the most immediate is that her. Enda kuteekateeka gurawundi alina byanooni enda kwesimba tiwojja fe olamojo kata atakabululu when they start atakabululu every leader around starts hitting you, so before you do it
they start feeling threatened. No, we all come in different forms. Some of us feel very, very sorry that we are not able to contribute because of where we live. And we only come seasonally to have an embera, and you think of what you can do, but you are not there to see that kuba n'okwirayo n'akola okikibona but over time nsponsorinze abaana bajja ku isomero basoma over time, so I can celebrate now nti I've had some contribution na ata omwana mu isomero all the way paka university ya graduating yafuna omulimo. That one I've done, but massively it requires collaboration with the leadership of Busoga.
Have you approached the kingdom in any way?
I actually approached Baba Mwetani, Baba PPS, or something like that of the Chabazinga. We had a meeting in Makere there. I think that was the end. We never
follow.
I tried to follow up with him. There was no follow back.
Okay.
So time where it took, can't I'm available. But I've reached out.
Bobolinda bakwende nkusasire. Time where it took wakati bakwenda. Lindo kukwenda kwaizo butakwenda. Thank you for this wonderful morning. Bakagwa tuva kwogera ku bintu nga tukona kubukone katono kubo budashika butyo bubaire. But in the subsequent month of June, I intend to have a recorded series with Professor Michael Kaluya, where we'll extensively, comprehensively discuss some of these economic issues that stand in our way. How can we mobilize ourselves on issues of credit, fighting poverty, fighting corruption, leadership collaboration, both Soga to the tourism and others. He has promised that he will have time to give us his insights on each of these. And in a minute, I want you to wind up.
Well, what I can say is thank you for the opportunity to be here. We did not discuss extensively, but we just hinted on it, on a few things. But I'm always available for length discussions on the things that we can do to champion the well-being or the welfare of the people. Not necessarily Busoga only, but Uganda at large, because what happens in Busoga can affect the rest of the country in one way or the other. But I want to thank platforms like this that are here that can project the message to whoever is listening. Maybe afunamu chayezemu yaja necho atafunyemu maybe later on olundi but so neyanziza ino okuba wano. Yeah.
Thank you for this wonderful morning. It's been a great one.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for accepting to share into your knowledge. And I believe that going forward, if we do what we have said, if we have the content available to the people, like you said, for us we are teachers. When you teach, you never know what speak to what, when,
exactly.
Or you pray that somebody picks something and use it at an opportune time. Kale, bakagwa bali kuba ku Baba TV program eno tukibaliza olwalero Dr. Professor Kaluya tudda kumufuna mu bintu ebindi atwongera okumbatusaako. Nze Simon Miyagotaya will be joining my brother Adam Al-Mahdi Kungu to deliver the inside out in the next 2 hours from now. Thank you.
Eno ni Gangamka ku Baba TV. Eno ni Baba TV obusoga bulaire.